kitty wants attention right now because I want to record. Yep, of course she does. Of course you do. She still needs a home. If anyone lives near lives in Central New York and would like a little kitty, look at her. She's so cute. Come on, come take the kitty, please. Get the kitty. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to talk about some new content here tonight. Someone reached out to me in my DMs to tell me about this specific situation, and it was about 2 months ago. I started to look into it, but I felt like I couldn't really be objective because there wasn't a whole lot of people looking into it, and there really wasn't a whole lot of information to be found. There's this one other creator who's talking about it, but I didn't really know her at the time. I needed to take some time to get to know her, and I'm very happy I did. I like what I see. I feel like I can trust her information, and she's where I've gotten much of my information. The other creator, I just don't trust at all. I mean, I've seen them lie about the same shit over and over again, and I can't trust them. I felt like I couldn't really be objective. So let me tell you a story. There's this channel called Soft White Underbelly, run by Laita, I think is how you pronounce it. So his channel, his content, this former photographer of phones or whatever from Apple, his content consists of Mark going to places like Skid Row to find homeless people who are just the extremely poorest and most destitute people in society, to offer them money to sit in front of a camera and to talk about all of their trauma, their hardships, all the bad things that happen to them in life. And people do this, especially because these people need money. There's a great, huge power imbalance going on here. So it is extremely exploitative. Sure, these people can agree to it, and they do agree to it. However, so when they find themselves in a place with very little options left, well, then they're going to take what they can get. And that's when Mark comes along, offering money to do this thing. Now, if they had more options, they would probably tell Mark to go shit in a hat. And Mark knows this, I believe. So he pays them money, and he pays them all the same amount of money to sit in front of a camera and to talk about these horrific things that they lived through, that they went through. Some are veterans, some are homeless people, some are working in the sex industry. Many of them are addicted to one or more substances. Many of them have mental health issues. A lot of them tell stories of abuse as children or as adults or both. And it's usually the most horrific stories that get told that get the highest views. And Mark's channel is monetized, and he makes a lot of money off of these videos. So he pays everyone the same amount of money. And he claims that he doesn't use every video he makes, that he records a lot of these conversations, but they never end up making it to the channel. So he says, like 1 in 5, he says, make it to the channel. And he pays everyone the same. The thing is, though, it doesn't matter if he pays them more or not. People hear about the promise of money, and that they'll be chosen to even sit in front of the camera and tell their story if they come up with something horrific enough, really. While Mark is doing his thing over there on his channel, he meets a woman named Lima Jevremovich. I got it. Lima comes on camera and starts talking about this new, innovative mental health technology that's going to revolutionize the way mental health care is administered and greatly enhance the experience for the patients. And it's guaranteed, promised to work, to cure anyone of any substance abuse problem, and also to resolve any other mental health issues that they may have going on. I mean, she comes on making a lot of promises with her startup company, and her technology is virtual reality, basically. Well, at least that's the technology she claims that's being sold. I disagree. I think it's the whole data collection thing that's the real product here, but we'll get to that a little later. So she's there on camera. She's talking about this technology, and she's making all these claims. All these things I'm going to get into in a little bit. I'm just giving you a brief rundown so viewers know what it is I'm talking about, and they know whether or not they'll be interested as I go about talking about it. So this is just the Cliff's Notes version, the TLDR or whatever it's called. While on camera, she and Mark have this idea to offer one of Lima's mental health care scholarships where she gives away treatment to one lucky person. and they decide to give it to one of Mark's previous guests on his channel. But they leave it up to the viewers to decide. And allegedly, the viewers all vote for this one guest that they all really want to see get clean, a young woman named Amanda Rabb. Now, Amanda Rabb was a young woman who was working in the sex industry, who was a prostitute, who was addicted to crack, I believe was the drug. And she was homeless, living in Skid Row. And she was on Mark's channel a few times. And each visit, she was getting progressively worse in her addiction and her lifestyle. She was beat up. She was losing weight. She was showing other symptoms of long-term extreme drug use. Lima accepts the challenge. You could tell she's not very happy about it because she doesn't, she realizes this is going to be quite the challenge, but she accepts it. Now, the problem with this, though, is Amanda didn't want this treatment. She didn't want treatment. She wanted no part in this. Well, that was just too bad for Amanda, because if she didn't accept it, well, then they were going to compel her. Well, they allegedly compelled her, I suppose. I mean, nothing's been proven, but the timing was awfully convenient. What happened was, Amanda's father, Larry, called the cops on his daughter and reported to them that she tried to stab him. So the cops came and picked up Amanda. She's sitting in jail for a while. While she's in jail, Lima is petitioning the court, trying to get guardianship over Amanda. An important note to make is not the same as like a conservatorship like Britney Spears had. Basically, I guess in a guardianship, at least the guardianships we're going to be talking about, is where the person in charge has control over you, over your person, but not over your finances. That's going to be important later on. I know Amanda didn't have any finances to be concerned about, but the next person we talk about will. So the court denies Lima this guardianship. So Lima has another idea. She petitions the court and says, hey, I have an idea. Why don't you, the court, go to Amanda and say, listen, you have a choice here. You can continue rotting in jail, or you can accept this nice lady's mental health treatment. Well, I mean, if you're sitting in jail for a few months, especially in LA, what are you going to do? I know I'm going to say, all right, I'll go to treatment. Yeah. Beats this shithole, So Amanda goes into treatment. Now, she comes back to Soft White Underbelly a few months after this, and she's definitely looking better. She's looking improved. She is. She's no longer showing the physical symptoms, really, of the long-term extreme drug use. She's no longer beat up, She's clean. She's smiling. She's speaking coherently. The only negative thing, really, I can say is she's put on weight. She needed to put on some weight, but she put on a lot of weight. Now, I believe it was right around she was in treatment like 4 or 5 months maybe, when the last time she was on Soft White Underbelly. And she put on easily, I'm going to say 50 pounds. Like, she was medically, what is called obese. So you put the extreme weight gain in a short amount of time on top of everything else her body had been through, and her mind, and, her chemistry, and it could end up proving to be too much on a body. And in Amanda's case, it did. Because sadly, right around what I believe was like the 9th month in treatment, she was found deceased in her room. It's heartbreaking, because she did appear to be doing so well. So Lima makes the announcement to everyone on Soft White Underbelly about how Amanda had passed away. Now, a lot of people, I think, started kind of blaming Lima for Amanda's death, which I personally don't. I don't think Lima had anything to do with Amanda's death. I think it's a possibility that the treatment center could have some negligence there. I don't know. No one really knows much of what happened. And I think it should be investigated, absolutely. But I don't blame Lima for this. Lima was nowhere around. Lima wasn't there. Her virtual reality technology isn't what did it either. So this is the one thing I don't really take an issue with Lima over. Whereas I believe some other creators maybe do. This is the one area I just don't. Okay, now to like the catalyst of why we're discussing this. Throughout all of this, Lima ends up meeting Bam Margera and his wife at the time. And they end up donating or investing in Lima's company, Aura. So at some point, a few months after that, Bam's family decide to enlist Lima's help in trying to get Bam clean and sober. So she advises them to go for the guardianship. This is like her go-to activity, basically, to try to compel someone into treatment is to obtain legal control over them. They end up getting Bam's case or whatever heard before a judge. She petitions the judge for guardianship. She ends up getting guardianship over Bam. Now, this is where I mentioned earlier how it's not quite like a conservatorship like Britney Spears had, because, Bam does have finances. So I think it's important to point out that his finances were not under her control, just his person. Like, that's any better, but whatever. Upon having this guardianship, they end up getting Bam picked up by the cops, and he gets placed into a treatment center in Florida. While there in this treatment center, he was supposed to be, I think, in treatment for like 90 days. While there, he got to like day 78 or something in his first treatment center, and then he got written up because he wore the same sweatpants for a few days in a row. Now, he was clean. It wasn't a hygiene issue. He was showered, but he was in rehab. Who cares? He's not gonna see anyone. He doesn't have to impress anyone. They're comfy sweatpants. Who the freak cares? Well, the staff there, for some reason, took issue with this and wrote him up. And then he got kicked out. Then he got sent to another treatment center. Because per Lima's decision, he has to remain in treatment. So he gets sent to the second treatment center. And the problem is, they don't start him at day 78, like where he left off in the previous one. No, they start him at day 1. So he's got to start all over again. Well, this new treatment center was apparently in the middle of some heritage site of woods or something, a forest or whatever, I don't know. While he was there, he's outside smoking a cigarette. He flicks the cigarette, lands in a bush, and, the cigarette's still smoking, so it looks like there's smoke coming out of the bush, but really it's just not. This bush is fine. It's just coming from the cigarette. Well, the staff there sees it. So the staff's like, oh my God, you almost burned down these gorgeous, heritage sacred forest here of ours. What's wrong with you? So they write him up, and he ends up getting kicked out of there. And then he's going to his third treatment center. And again, he's going to start from day 1. And that's some bullshit. Because apparently this is something that the state of Florida is known rather well for doing. In fact, it's called the Florida Shuffle, which is ironic that the state, Florida, they gave much of the country this whole opioid epidemic by getting people hooked, is now selling you the cure, the answer. But they don't want to just sell it to you once. They want to keep you as a regular long-term customer by keeping you in their system. Which brings me to what I think is Lima's real motivation behind this innovative technology of hers, and behind what I think is the real product of hers, which is not the virtual reality, but is in fact the whole data collection that she's assuming and acquiring by administering this technology. And therein lies my actual problem with this, because first of all, not only do I think that this is all some sort of elaborate scheme or whatever, or there's the actual real feature of this product is in fact the data. I think that the promises that she's selling of the virtual reality, the promises of curing anyone's substance abuse problem, the promises of treating anyone's mental health issue through this technology, this promise is nothing but a huge pseudoscience, big fat lie. And that's where I take a big issue with this, because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's pseudoscience peddlers, it's anti-vaxxers, it's fake doctors, it's chiropractors thinking that they have some more higher of authority on all things medicine than really they do. It's opportunists like Lima, in my opinion, that I take a real big issue with. And this is something that I feel like should be on the forefront of this entire discussion. I think that the whole liberal use of the guardianship is also another thing that's a huge problem here. Or all of these things going together, like hand in hand, is a recipe for disaster. And that's what I want to talk about. And that's what I'm going to talk about. But in order to do that, I have to further explain and go into detail this technology, this product, Lima, and a little bit of soft white underbelly. Because I wonder how these two came about one another. The anti-vax movement is largely funded by Scientology. It is. It really is. A lot of anti-government fringe groups are, and the anti-vax movement is no exception. So I wonder how this well-known, established, affluent photographer for Apple came about knowing Lima, the seemingly no one from Canada, and why it is they're pushing so hard for this ridiculous tech and bullshit promise. I really want to know how this all came together. I want to know if it was some marketing media group that like brought them together, if it was a public relations thing, if maybe Lima is like a hired actress along with her sisters here. I want to know. These are the answers I want to know, because these are the suspicions that I have. And on a personal note, for most of my adult life, the Jackass series has existed. Bam Margera has been a thing. I've been laughing at these shows. I've been watching this entire crew, all of these men, just grow up through the years and become the men that they are. And sadly, we've lost some. And I don't want to see us lose anymore, at least not for a long time. And I understand his family's desire to compel him to just not kill himself. I get that. I just don't think a guardianship is the right way to go about it. And as much as that pains me to say, because if I were in their shoes, I'd probably try to do the same thing. You know, it's when you're in that situation, you look at things completely different. And oftentimes rationale goes out the window because all you can think about is your fear and your love and just how much you don't want to lose that person. And that's, you do whatever it takes, whatever you think it's going to take to prevent that. And it's hard. It's hard to know what's the right thing to do. So that's what we're going to talk about now. Let's get started. Lima Jevremovich. I'm going to have a hard time with that last name. For some reason, my mouth just cannot get those sounds out in that order. Anyway, she is apparently some sort of mental health care technology interfacer of some sorts. I'm not sure what exactly she is or what she does exactly. But what's brought her to the attention of many people as of lately is her involvement with this group, or rather her creation of this organization called Aura. And Aura exists to allegedly improve mental health care, specifically by collecting and making available for analysis and to healthcare providers certain biometric feedback from patients. So, you know what? I'm not going to explain this very well. Let me just run through the website real quick and explain it to you. But on top of the whole data thing, there's also this virtual reality technology that she is pretty much the voice for, in which she claims can help people recovering from substance abuse, allegedly, to deal with triggers, so to not relapse again or as frequently. Let's start here on Lima's website, Aura. Okay, so you see up at the top menu here, we have home, which is where we're at. We have shop, which I'm going to come back to that shortly. We have products, so let's start there. It says virtual wellness tools created by clinical psychologists, which Lima is not one of. Products. On-site virtual reality system, precision treatment, biofeedback, voice analysis, and virtual reality allow for enhanced data-rich treatment options in mental health clinics, hospitals, and private practice offices. It sounds nice enough, doesn't it? Continued Care mobile app, progress tracking. Our mobile app allows for virtual care through biofeedback, voice analysis, and virtual reality while connecting officers to therapists via telehealth. Data-driven healing for relapse prevention and enhanced treatment. AI mental health screenings. Artificial intelligence mental health screenings. That's what that means. quick and simple method of determining whether a patient is experiencing symptoms of a mental health condition with the help of artificial intelligence. Right about here is where Minority Report kind of went through my mind. Diagnostic health detection voice analysis. We offer health detection through smartphones and medical wearable devices, monitor health remotely through short recorded speech samples, and performing deep analysis for mental illness biomarkers. Did you guys catch that? There's going to be someone, hopefully someone, not artificially, but reality someone, who's going to monitor the biofeedback that gets sent to them, the data that gets sent to them through devices, wearable devices, and smartphone technology. Short recorded speech samples. And by this, the deep analysis that will be performed will then search for and spot any biomarkers signifying some sort of mental health condition emerging. Virtual reality for enhanced treatment options. Through the magic of virtual reality, Aura eliminates potential barriers for patients who may experience difficulty with imagination or visualization. Immersion in digital 3D environment simulates real presence through senses and allows therapy response to be tested and tracked. So basically, it doesn't matter what it is you say or what it is you believe about yourself, whether or not you have faith in yourself. If you don't send back the correct information through these tests, well, you've been tested, and now you'll be tracked. Ongoing medication assessments. Aura tracks your progress and analyzes your medication to ensure medication's effectiveness and limited side effects. Our tools are designed to evaluate and reduce the risk of medicine hurting the patient while increasing the prescription's efficacy for treatment. So in other words, if you take one too many, they'll know. Evidence-based mental health assessments. Aura's technology integrates critically appraised research results with clinical expertise and each patient's preferences, beliefs, and values. Here's one thing I can't figure out. I can't figure out what these search results showed because I can't find any results. I can't find any research results. And I don't know who these clinical experts are because I know Lima is not one. I can't really find anyone who's deemed by their peers and the colleagues as an expert in any kind of clinical field in which to test this kind of technology. I can't find any results. Biofeedback for distress and progress tracking. Patients learn to control their stress response by building a visual understanding and becoming aware of their body's impulsive reactions and cravings. Clinicians are able to measure the efficacy of therapeutic techniques to calm physiological arousal. Telehealth for on-the-go care. Aura's mobile telehealth platform is more than just video calls with your doctor. Door-to-door care is easy and accessible to all, with 24/7 monitoring for continued support, access to ongoing virtual treatment options, gamified therapies, and daily routine check-ins through Aura's Guardian system. The fact that it's called a Guardian system already has me feeling uneasy about it. Even people who have made mistakes as an adult, do they really warrant a guardian that's doing daily routine check-ins and judging whether or not more invasive care is necessary? I mean, maybe in extreme situations, but you'll find as we go that this isn't being presented or offered for extreme situations. This is being offered and being sold to people in all stages of mental health treatment and recovery. Relapse risk detection and management. We implement high-level intervention strategies for reducing the likelihood and severity of relapse following the cessation or reduction of problematic behaviors detected by the Aura Guardian system. This sounds like some shit that the Capitol would be pulling on people. Okay, next we have how it works. How to use the Aura system, Aura Telehealth mobile app. Patients use Aura's telehealth app both in residential and outpatient care. While in residential treatment, the Aura app allows providers to track patient progress and identify patients at highest risk of DAMA, Discharge against medical advice, I think is what that stands for. Allowing each patient to have individualized care. Post-residential treatment, patients continue to use the telehealth app to stay connected with their mental health provider, and as they continue outpatient treatment. The Aura app bridges inpatient and outpatient care and offers support, resources, tools, and detailed mental health analysis that is provided to clinicians to help support lifelong recovery outcomes. It is recommended that the Aura app is deployed at all levels of care to effectively provide an intervention prior to relapse. I want to point this out here. We see these 3 links here, which we're going to come back to those momentarily. Next, we have the Aura Advantage. The Aura Advantage. Reduce relapse and increase successful patient outcomes. Some pictures. Our mission is lifelong recovery. Treatment centers make more money, insurance companies save, and patients actually get better. Negotiate higher rates with insurers, boost acceptance of single case agreements for out-of-network patients, and unlock a competitive and financial advantage while standing out to prospective new clients. Aura helps clinicians provide individualized treatment options to fast-track recovery and improve sustained recovery long-term through patient tracking in our telehealth app. On average, most patients have been self-medicating for 15 years or more before they agree to attend treatment. On average, most patients have been self-medicating for 15 years or more before they agree to attend treatment. 30 days in residential treatment is not enough to rewire 15 years of cemented behavioral patterns. Unfortunately, in most cases, short-term stays are all that insurance companies will approve, until now. Aura was designed to enhance every moment in and out of therapy to mitigate the risk of relapse. While on-site, patients have access to virtual reality in treatment to enhance treatment and increase effectiveness. In addition, patients are being monitored during and post-treatment through the Aura mobile app that tracks their progress and risk. Reduce relapse and discharge against medical advice. DAMA. Aura takes mental health into the future and goes beyond patient self-reporting. Our data analytics platform allows clinicians to review patient-reported metrics, as well as analytics from biofeedback and voice analysis. This system of care empowers clinicians to track patients at high risk of DAMA, relapse, suicide, self or public harm, and intervene before it's too late. See, that's what I mean. In extreme circumstances, this could be actually a good thing. But short of that, I see this as potentially damaging and dangerous. Aura is all about data-driven healing, patient-centered care, and leveraging technology to stay connected. Aura enables mental health professionals to provide scalable, individualized care so that your staff can quickly identify and offer specialized treatment for high-risk patients prior to DAMA, relapse, or self-harm. Unlock single-case agreements and higher reimbursement rates. By demonstrating that your facility has a clinical specialty that is not available with any of the in-network providers, such as Aura's evidence-based virtual reality exposure therapy, and that the treatment you provide will reduce relapse and keep the patient out of the hospital, will drastically increase your success rate of SCA approval. In addition, these 2 factors are extremely important to insurance companies and will allow your facility to secure higher reimbursement rates for care delivered. Fast-track patient progress. Aura's VR tools help to bring therapeutic experiences from theory to reality and enhance treatment options. You'll hear that a lot, enhance treatment options, but it's never really quite explained what that means. It's just something that comes with the VR technology. It's enhanced treatment. In addition, progress monitoring helps patients get better faster by tracking how patients are feeling pre- and post-treatment and reporting it to clinicians. Aura's priority data collection platform analyzes the information received from multiple streams of data and delivers it in a visually stimulating and easy comprehensible format. And then finally on the products page, we have the client reviews. Here's my problem though with the reviews, as you'll see. In Battalion, there's a case manager with the first name Eric in Nevada who says it's not complicated. we have another therapist named Alana that says it's a great addition to veterans. Now, we have Paco, who's just a therapist somewhere in Nevada, who says, I can see how the patient is feeling. I have data, so I know how best to help them so they don't relapse or leave early. See, and it's that claim right there, so they don't relapse or leave early. I feel like if there was really a therapist who was trying to take on any kind of reassuring claims to give to the readers, it would be something like to better reduce the chance of relapse or leaving early, rather than so they don't relapse. Then there's Jill, someone in the state of Nevada. There's a therapist named Jill who says this: I can go off of more than what the patient is saying to me. So I don't have to listen to what the patient's saying to me because now I have data, so I can see if they're full of shit or not. Somewhere in Nevada, Jill is saying that. Okay, see, that's my problem. I'm willing to bet that there's a shitload of Jills who are therapists in the state of Nevada. The fact that there's no identifying information for people to verify or corroborate these reviews, that bothers me. I feel like that's done on purpose. Oh, look, somewhere in Nevada, there's another therapist named Diana. Yeah. Okay, so next we have treatments. Under treatments, it says, a mixed reality platform co-developed by the doctors using it. Trauma and PTSD, a serious and potentially debilitating condition, post-traumatic stress disorder, can occur as a result of any traumatic experience or event. In a routine situation, the brain will shift the body from survival mode to a state of recovery. However, with PTSD, that shift never transpires, leaving the survivor in a constant state of terror and angst. Mood disorders. Mood disorders are a mental health category that broadly defines all types of depression and bipolar disorders. Anyone can feel sad or depressed from time to time. However, mood disorders are more intense and harder to manage, characterized by continuous disruption in moods such as elevated mood, mania, depression, and/or mood swings. Chronic and complex pain. Pain is the body's way of sending a warning that something is wrong, a normal reaction to an injury or illness. Unfortunately, for many people, the pain continues long after the body heals. Chronic and complex pain often leads to depression and anxiety and can interfere with daily life. Although it can be difficult to treat, it's not impossible. Eating disorders. Eating disorders are dangerous, often fatal, mental illnesses that are linked with severe disruptions in an individual's eating behaviors and related thoughts and emotions. Common eating disorders include anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. Dissociative disorders. Dissociative identity disorder, DID, and dissociative disorder, not otherwise specified, DDNOS, are indicated by an involuntary escape from reality, identified as a detachment between thoughts, identity, consciousness, and memory. Behavioral disorders. Behavioral disorders correspond with a pattern of disruptive behaviors and cause problems in work and interpersonal situations. Everyone shows some of these behaviors at one time or another, but behavior disorders are more serious, leading to inattention, hyperactivity, lack of impulse control, defiant behavior, drug use, and criminal activity. Anxiety disorders. Occasional anxiety is an anticipated part of life, but for people, anxiety disorders, the anxiety does not go away, but can instead get worse over time. Anxiety disorders are characterized by overwhelming worry and extreme fear or concern. This condition can interfere with quality of life and the ability to function effectively at home or at work. Substance use disorders. Substance use disorders are characterized by the use of one or more substances which causes clinical impairment and/or distress. SUDs are identified by an array of mental, physical, and behavioral symptoms that may cause problems such as hazardous use, loss of control, and strain in relationships and social life. Co-occurring disorders. Co-occurring disorders, or dual diagnosis, is most commonly the condition of suffering from a mental illness and a coexisting substance abuse issue. This term can also refer to other combinations of disorders. For example, approximately 80% of individuals with eating disorders are diagnosed with another psychiatric disorder. Proven to rewire the brain. Proven. proven to rewire the brain. Users revert to positive coping skills. Patients teleport to new realities and experience an interactive way to improve mental health through immersive environments and gamified therapies with access to an autonomous user rehabilitation agent, Aura, to guide, customize, and personalize mixed reality experiences. I feel like I just read an awful lot of words that described and explained very little. With all of those words, especially those bigger words, I feel like so much more of a picture should have been painted for the reader. Yet I'm left with more questions than before. Next, under treatments, we have MAT, M-A-T. MAT is medication-assisted treatment expansion to avert opioids, dedicated to building the future of digital healthcare. Drug medical recovery support through MR. Opioids now kill more Americans than guns or breast cancer. Aura offers medication-assisted treatment recovery support through mixed reality tools for increased accessibility to continued care and to abate the opioid epidemic using MR as a prospective bridge to long-term community-based recovery services following retention in treatment and extensive case management. It is crucial that patients in care induct MAT to avert relapse, stave withdrawal, decrease cravings, and prevent overdose. Patients abstinent from opioids and on MAT are at minimal risk for opioid overdose. Our community for recovery support utilizing our immersive technology will both expedite and scale the programs needed to combat this epidemic. It shouldn't be harder to get help than to get heroin. That is true. That is something I can emphatically agree with. Designed by the leading clinical experts, our team is backed by the knowledge and experience of the leading clinical psychologists and top healthcare professionals working together to interlace evidence-based practices with high-quality mixed reality simulations. Aura's mixed reality patient management platform is designed to be complementary to current treatment and structured to teach coping skills and relapse prevention with easy integration to current clinical practice. After treatments, we have contact, it's just an email submission form, it looks like. Okay. And then we have about us. At Aura, our mission is to reduce relapse rates and ensure lifelong recovery for patients that seek mental, behavioral, and substance use disorder treatment from medical professionals. Aura is a digital health platform designed to enhance therapy in a clinical setting when implemented by healthcare providers. Through our proprietary cutting-edge technology, Aura is designed to predict and reduce relapse, suicide, self-harm, and public harm when patients leave treatment centers. Why choose us? Aura's system is designed so that clinics and hospitals retain and increase patient admissions while reducing relapse rates and increasing success. Our content includes support for exposure therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, distraction therapy, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. Our team is dedicated to ensuring that our partnering clients see an increase in patient occupancy, attendance, and retention with the metrics to measure patient healing. Our locations. Aura currently operates in the U.S. and Australia. As a young startup, our growth strategy focuses on these 3 states with plans to expand globally as our training and technology is able to support fluid onboarding to the Aura system. We have had a tremendous amount of demand from treatment centers and prospective patients worldwide and are working with our team to meet these needs. Okay, next we have frequently asked questions. How can I get access to Aura's technology? At present, the only way to access Aura's healthcare technology is by receiving access from a healthcare provider using the Aura platform to monitor patients. Where does Aura operate? Aura currently operates in Nevada, California, and Arizona. As a young startup, our growth strategy focuses on these 3 states with plans to expand nationwide, then globally, as our training and technology is able to support fluid onboarding to Aura. Is my personal data protected? Now, that's a good question. All of your personal data is encrypted, restricted, and secured. It is not accessible to anyone except your healthcare provider. Aura's tools are compliant with Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. People have hacked into the CIA, into the FBI, into NASA, into the International Space Place, whatever. But Aura can keep everyone out. Does Aura replace therapists? Well, artificially, maybe. No, there will always be a need for traditional therapy and therapists. There is no replacement for one-on-one human connection. Aura is a system of tools that therapists use to enhance traditional methods of therapy. How does Aura work with therapists? Aura allows therapists to treat mental illness like physical illness and see how a patient feels. Aura was co-developed by clinical psychologists to enhance therapy and reduce relapse. Aura is simple and easy to integrate into current traditional practice. What is virtual reality? Virtual reality is the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment. Unlike traditional user interfaces, virtual reality places the user inside of the experience and immerses and able to interact with 3D worlds. What is the mission of Aura? That's a good question too. Our team is driven to prevent misdiagnosis for patients with mental illness, create a sustainable recovery model for pre- and post-treatment to reduce relapse, and help people reach their wellness goals for managing mental health. Okay, next we have Shop. Oh, I love seeing that. I so do. Oh, it doesn't lead anywhere. Now, isn't that interesting? Okay, now remember back a little ways under, I think it was product, where I said that we were going to come back to those 3 links. We're going to go back to those 3 links. Okay, so here it was under products, and I think how it works, yes. So these links right here, we're going to click on them. This is Healthcare Tech Outlook. Home to AR/VR, to vendors, to Aura. Let's see, reducing relapse through MR-powered treatment tools. Now, this is a sponsorship ad, or this is what this is an ad. This is an ad designed to look like an article or some investigation results of some sort, when in actuality, it is an ad. It is an ad for Aura. Let's see, go to About Us. Let's learn about Healthcare Tech Outlook. Okay, the goal of the healthcare industry has become determined and consistent to build a patient-centered healthcare system that promotes choice, quality, and affordability. These goals, patient centrism, consumer choice, quality, affordability, are hallmarks of the pivot toward value-based care, one of the most powerful forces reshaping the industry. With this massive market shift, healthcare decision makers, institutes, and care centers are looking toward Healthcare Tech Outlook, a print and digital platform offering healthcare decision makers critical information on adopting, innovating, and building new programs and approaches to enhance their capability to provide care. And as you scroll down here, you see the contact us for editorial queries, for sales, for marketing, for subscription. It's an ad. This is a marketing website aimed and directed at the healthcare industry to sell them whatever new age shit comes about. Maybe you'll see something or find something here and there that offers some actual value to healthcare. But for the most part, it's going to be pseudoscience related, in my opinion. The next link leads to, this one doesn't lead to anything. This leads to Influencive website. It looks like some sort of digital marketing website. But the link that this brings me to, in actuality, is just their main page, influencive.com. That's it. There's no sublink There's no page on this that it leads me to, just their homepage. So that leads nowhere. This third one, right here. This one's interesting. Yahoo Finance. Lima Jevremovich, and Aura, bringing solutions to today's mental health crisis. Now, I'm not going to read this entire thing. I'm going to include all the links in the description so everyone watching can go and pull up anything I show here themselves. But there is something I want to just go over real quick here. You scroll down to the bottom of this. Right here. Media contact, Imperium Group. Okay, so I was kind of curious what they were, but here you have a little brief description. Imperium Group is an American public relations and marketing consultancy firm known for getting its clients on Forbes. Imperium Group PR reviews, quote, reviews are so essential and so is customer satisfaction. Founded in 2016 by Shazir Muklai. Imperium Group specializes in Google Knowledge panels and generates over 15 million impressions a month for its clients. So, if we click on their website here real quick, we can look at their website. Okay. It's not just about having the right bait. We fish with the right hook. Okay. We crack top publications like dad jokes, only no one begs us to stop featuring our clients. That was a dad joke. My God. With our SEO expertise, we are the only PR firm in America that can get you featured on top publications for less than $1,000. In fact, 90% of our day consists of spending a lot of time trying to crack what makes your audience laugh and lust and curse and trust and get out of bed in the morning. We want to tell your story in the best way possible. Then we curate narratives that make them pause, take a breath, sit back. And it's in that pause that a shift happens where calculated targets become measurable results. So that's who was behind the article there on Yahoo Finance, was this SEO expertise firm that specializes in public relations and specifically in reading you, the consumer, and knowing what will bait and hook you onto their product. And then they will sell that product to you. They will sell the shit out of that product to you. That is who is behind the article on Yahoo Finance, which I have nothing against PR firms. Whatever. I mean, I do, but I don't. They're allowed to exist. I accept that. Move on. But if you're selling me something that is going to be the answer to my prayers, my hopes, and is going to give me back my loved one or save my loved one, well, then I want the information that I'm hearing about it, that's selling me this product. I want that information to not be a narrative, to not be calculated, to not be fed to me in a manner which will hook me the deepest. That's bullshit. Now, if you're selling me a new comforter, whatever, man, I don't care. But this is healthcare. This is mental healthcare. The next website we're going to look at is called Jibbs.org, which stands for Jevremovich Institute of Behavior and Brain Sciences, which I find to be quite interesting that that's the name, that the Jevremovich name is on this is on this title. Because the two Jevremovich that I can see that are associated with this, neither one of them are any kind of experts in any kind of brain or behavior sciences. They're not in any kind of healthcare or medical field. I'm not even sure what exactly Lima is educated to be or to do for a living. And it appears that her husband is some sort of financial consultant or something. I'm not sure. Investor. I think investor is the right word. So they're selling you this institute of behavior and brain sciences when neither one of the Jevremovichs involved here
have any kind of knowledge or experience in behavior and brain sciences. Meet the founder. Founder Lima Jevremovich has lived through the implications of severe mental health illness firsthand through loved ones. See, that's the thing. That's what you're going to hear an awful lot about, is that her interest in this is solely because of her sisters, her twin sisters, who both allegedly suffer from DID and substance abuse, I think. And her sisters, mind you, are actresses. They've had a successful YouTube channel and are considered actresses. Okay. And you look at Lima here, and Christ, she could be some sort of swimsuit model, I think, you know? So here we have these three beautiful, potentially talented women, but they just want to sell you healthcare. That's all it is. They're not like being a front face or anything for any product. No, they're truly invested in this. I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I'm not saying she's lying about her reason for being interested. That may be an actual situation, but I don't believe that that's her motivation. The Jevremovich Institute of Behavior and Brain Sciences was bloomed from a desire to create tools to improve mental health care, research, and innovations, and make those tools available globally to all that need them. A mixed reality experience designer. Okay, so that's her title. A mixed reality experience designer. So what she's designing is an experience in both reality and virtual reality. It's mixed. She's designing that experience. That's her qualification here. Jevremovich specializes in digital health. Even if she specializes in digital, she doesn't specialize in health. She is well known in the tech community for her speaking engagements and role as an ambassador for bridging innovative technology in healthcare and providing insight on the emerging markets of VR/AR and artificial intelligence. She does claim that she wanted this technology to exist in the right way. So she realized that the only way to do that was for her to learn how to basically write the code herself. So she went and learned how to do that, and she did that. She did that in a very small amount of time, too, allegedly. I don't buy that either. Jevremovich's insight into psychology. What insight? Into psychology and isolated controlled environments allows her to provide diagnostic guidance on mental and behavioral immersive content, applications, and functions. So this is who's going to be providing insight on what scene or whatever it is that you have to experience virtually throughout the course of your mental health treatment or your recovery process. This is who it is. More about us. Pioneering emerging technologies in mental health care. Lima Jevremovich has been invited to healthcare conferences and technology summits around the world to discuss and present cutting-edge solutions in mental and behavioral health. This is why miracles happen through Jibbs every day. As CEO of Aura, her life's work is dedicated leading the evolution of patient-centered care with emerging technologies and helping those with complex PTSD and mental illness manage their mental well-being. Healing with virtual reality as a tool for treatment. Lima was a featured speaker at Harvard Medical School in 2018 and did a presentation titled Rewiring the Brain with Virtual Reality. In 2019, she was a speaker at the University of Arizona Healthcare Symposium and discussed virtual reality as an asset to talk therapy and medication, focusing on how immersion makes patients present and how that helps reduce relapse. Lima has worked with society's most elite and influential families to help them break free of the chain of mental illness and addiction. Her mission is to scale alternative options, long-term care, and treatment accessibility to all. Now, you notice there where they said Harvard. Okay, well, I noticed that with Imperium Group. So under Imperium Group on the /Google knowledge panels page. If you scroll down, it explains their tiered packages again or whatever. Google panel, $2,000. Market Watch, $400. 10 article package, mid-tier, $2,000. Business Insider, $1,750. Forbes, USA Today, yada yada. You keep scrolling down until you get here. Over here, Harvard Business Review, $2,000. So I think it's safe to say that they very likely have some sort of business arrangement or agreement with Harvard for their clients, including speaking engagements. Okay, so back to the Jibbs website. We were reading Meet the Founder. All right, so what's on home? Making mental health manageable and treatment accessible. 1 in 4 people worldwide are affected by a mental or neurological disorder. Okay, so then join the mailing list. That's all there is there. What we do, founder, okay, PPE mission. This has to do with the COVID-19 crisis. They evidently dedicated or donated a bunch of PPE supplies to places. Mostly places like clinical places, inpatient stuff, whatever. So that's nice. That is great that they did that. I'm pleased to see that. Next, what we treat. What we treat. Jibbs is dedicated to relieving the pain and suffering caused by mental illness by developing technology and partnerships that will lead to advances and breakthroughs in bioscientific research, brain science, and cognitive psychology. If you have a cutting-edge tech-based treatment or promising research that may revolutionize mental health treatment options, contact our team at info@jibbs.org for details on how to partner with us. So they're looking for this technology that they claim to possess and offer. Okay, and here it just goes over all the different things that they claim that they can treat at their Behavioral and Brain Science Institute. Next, we have scholarship. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. How could... That's right. Scholarship. Insurance only covers 30 days of detox and patient care. You need at least 1 year of door-to-door treatment to heal. That's why this program exists. The Jibbs Scholarship Program exists so that those who cannot afford to get better have a chance at recovery. So what their scholarship is claiming to offer is the initial 10 days of drug alcohol detox, then the 1 month of inpatient care, then the 3 months of residential treatment, and then 5 months of sober living, and then 5 months of sober living, telehealth, and job training, and then you graduate. Which that actually all does sound quite pleasant. I mean, that does sound very complete. That sounds like a system that really should be in place for people recovering from years of substance abuse and whatnot. I mean, it's sad that we don't have that. Though insurance should be covering it. Next, we have donate, sponsors. Our sponsors. Together, we make it possible to manage mental illness and live a full life. A big thank you to Jibbs sponsors for your continued support of education, research, events, and mental health initiatives. The Jibbs sponsorship program offers the opportunity to sponsor single and or multiple events and subscription boxes throughout the calendar year. These alliance partnerships make it possible for people all around the world to receive mental health care and support. Now, here's my problem with these sponsorships. Okay, so these boxes, rather, because you saw up there it said subscription boxes. So if you become a sponsor, you are then eligible or whatever at some point for a subscription box. And this is what this box includes. Chocolate, an art studio, AT&T to write what? And plant therapy essential oils. Remember when I said earlier pseudoscience? Pseudoscience sponsors. Now you can learn more about these gift boxes, okay? Tech-based wellness subscription box coming soon. Wellness technology tools delivered to you. We have partnered up with the world's leading technology-based wellness organizations, nutritional companies, and brain health clinics to bring you tools and support as a gift for your donation. Jibbs subscription box was born from the question, how can we give back to our donors and make prevention tools and brain health systems accessible to everyone? The Jibbs box contains brain nutrient snacks, smart supplements formulated by neuroscientists, mental wellness strategies, technology for wellness and mental health, mind and body accessories, mindfulness home goods, and essentials, I'm thinking that means. We have something for every aspect of your life to keep you balanced and ready to take on the world. Our goal with this tech-powered wellness subscription box is to help you while you help someone else in need. Every box purchased covers the cost of 2 people getting treatment for mental illness with a clinical psychologist and 10 people getting free mental health support through Jibbs, technology powered by Aura. In addition, your donation tax deductible under 501c3 nonprofit organization status. Oh, in addition to that, okay. Jevremovich Institute of Behavior and Brain Sciences is an internal nonprofit project of Giving.org, a 501c3 tax-exempt organization. Give the gift of brain health and serenity. Are you searching for the perfect gift for your loved one? Why not place a donation in their name and subscribe them to the Jibbs Wellness Box? We are working on creating a tech-based wellness subscription box for our subscribed monthly donors to thank you for your support. More info coming soon on the launch date. This brain-powering booster package is not just a gift that adds daily value to your loved one's life, but it also aids others in need of mental health care and covers their cost of treatment. And then under contact us, you have an email submission form again. Okay. So that's jibbs.org. Okay, so this next part, their products page on the Aura website, the shop rather, I was able to actually pull it up on the Wayback Machine. So here we can see what their products are that they offered. And there's only a few things really. So there's the Aura Guardian telehealth patient monitoring system. So I'm guessing that this is the hardware and software that you need to monitor, to connect to their servers in which to monitor with the mobile devices that are on your patient, okay? And then you have Aura Max VR Therapy Boost telehealth and patient monitoring system, which is basically the virtual reality system used for virtual reality immersive settings for $1,500. Then you have Brain Rescue, formulated to promote brain healing after injury, supports brain recovery, 30-day supply for $140. For a month, 1 month supply, $140. I mean, holy shit, Mercola can learn a thing or two from this freaking website. When Rehab Doesn't Work, How to Heal Anyone Struggling with Addiction by Lima Jevremovich. She's an author. She can explain to you, she can give you all the tools needed to heal anyone from addiction. For $30. That's only $30. The ability to heal anyone from addiction will cost you only $30. But some brain recovery pills that you know nothing about are $140 for 1 month. That's only 1 month. You don't get a month's supply of curing people from addiction. No, you get that for life for only $40.
Okay, so we're going to call this part 1, and I'm going to wrap things up right about here. And in part 2, I will be playing some video clips and some commentary and bringing up a few other points. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.